and we have a little announcement to make. As of yesterday, we found out that we are expecting.
You have to have your hand on the other side, Josh. And make sure that, okay, you're coming up a little too high at the top. You want to keep it down. It's going to exercise a different set of muscles.
Girl, you got a girl.
Lots of pink and ruffles.
Yeah,
and all kinds of fun
pink
stuff.
and ruffles and lace, all the things that Anna's been looking forward to. I'm looking forward to it as well. I was right all along. I was like, I'm for sure it's a boy because I'm always wrong, but I guess I wasn't. So there you go.
Hey guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Monday, June 7th, and I have some updates on Josh Duggar, and this is actually coming from one of my subscribers. So I just want to put this out there. If you are local in the Arkansas area and you are privy to the Duggars, if you have photos, that kind of stuff, I have been getting so many messages from people that are local that have tips, and that's how I got this one. And it's because of you guys that I'm able to deliver such amazing content here. So make sure that you follow me on Instagram, and if you have anything that you want to send to me, you can send me a DM over there. So this is actually all about a trip that Josh took in 2019 with his family to Silver Dollar City in Missouri. So back in 2019, this was when everything went down. According to HSI, everything happened around May 15th. I think they said May 13th through the 16th. So in the middle of May of 2019, he was caught downloading content that was extremely bad. CSAM that was the worst, some of the worst that exists out there. And after this happened, the family may or may not have known at this point, because at this point, no investigation had happened. Josh had a car lot he had been working at, and this had been about, 4 years since he had gone to rehab for all of his problems for cheating on Anna, and 4 years after everything kind of came out about Ashley Madison and what he did to his sisters. So they were on this massive redemption arc. They were trying to act like Josh was completely changed, a totally different person, good with God, the consummate father, the best guy ever. We started seeing him a lot more on Instagram, on Anna's Instagram, which we now know is a family Instagram. And it's interesting that as soon as he gets arrested, she doesn't post anything. And she's probably not posting anything just because she doesn't want to say anything, and she was probably afraid of all the backlash. But what I think is interesting is that the Duggars often talked about how they had put in safeguards for their daughters. And one of the safeguards was that, big boys didn't go off with little girls. They didn't play hide and seek. There was, boys didn't babysit the girls, that kind of stuff. No little girls sitting on big boys' laps. And they made it seem like these safeguards were placed to protect their daughters after what had happened with Josh, and that they had learned a valuable lesson. You would think that given all of this, even though he went away and they claimed he was all fixed and redeemed, they would have stuck to these safeguards. You would have assumed that after everything was all said and done, that he would not have been allowed to be alone with any of the girls. Well, that's just simply not true. So on June 7th, actually it was 2 years today, I want to thank my subscriber who had these pictures pop up in their time hop. She was with a friend at Silver Dollar City and saw the Duggars. My source says that the Duggars had been at Silver Dollar City and they were watching a friend, probably a family band playing there, and that during the performance of this band, Josh and two of the girls sort of took off and they walked around the park. So Josh then proceeded to take his daughter MacKynzie and his younger sister Jordyn. So Jordyn and MacKynzie are like really close in age. I think they were born within a few months because Anna got pregnant with MacKynzie and then Michelle became pregnant with Jordyn. They actually were pregnant at the same time. There were photos of the two of them with their pregnant bellies together. So they had the girls sort of very close together, and they've grown up very close, more like probably cousins than niece and aunt relationship, almost like sisters. They are incredibly close. Josh, for some reason, decided to take the two girls around the park by himself. And my source said that given what they knew about him, they just decided to follow them to see like where they were gonna go and what they were gonna do. And she snapped 2 photos of Josh with the girls. One photo was when they were walking in the middle, like in the park, sort of like at a cove where there was a little, I've never been there, so I don't know where this would have been in the park, but there was a bridge connecting 2 parts of the park together. And then another part was at a stand, whether it was for food or for tickets, or I think it's like for food or for a game or something, but he was standing there with his bunny and he had the 2 girls next to him. So who he had was MacKynzie and Jordyn. Now I cross-referenced this to make sure that this was who he was with, and I found some photos by Jana. So Jana posted some photos on the same day of June 7th, and she was at Silver Dollar City, and she was posting photos with Jordyn, MacKynzie, and Josie. So Jordyn had the same polka dotted outfit on. The same outfit can be seen in the pictures with Josh. And then the other photo has MacKynzie in sort of a bluish top that has, I don't know, it's in a bluish formal, like floral top. So Jordyn and MacKynzie were with their dad, with Josh Duggar, by themselves, unaccompanied by anybody else. He wasn't chaperoned by any other any other adults. He had time alone, unmonitored by anyone. This was within 3 weeks of him downloading this really disturbing content that contained kids from the ages of 18 months to 12 years old. So he at this time is walking around completely unsupervised with 2 girls at the time who were 10 years old. So what were the safeguards? When he went away and became a father, did they suddenly decide that he didn't need safeguards anymore? Or if he was with his daughter, did he not need safeguards? Because, so MacKynzie was with, so it was okay because he had MacKynzie and Jordyn. Is that why they thought it was safe? Because he had one of his daughters, and certainly he wouldn't do anything to one of his daughters? I want to note that the judge was really specific in this bond hearing that he could not see his siblings. And I was like, okay, so he's not allowed to be around any minor children. And she specifically said his siblings. And he has 4 sisters that are under the age of 18. So she says, you can't be around these kids. And he's with these kids, at least one of them, completely unsupervised within weeks of the time that the HSI says that this content was downloaded onto his computer and on his Linux partition, and where, 200 plus images and videos were contained. When did they loosen up the rules? 1, and what is the rule about the siblings? Did something else happen besides the siblings that he has? Like, do they know something that we don't know beyond like his sisters, the older sisters that he's already admitted to doing things? Or was it out of like an abundance of caution, knowing that he's already done things to his sisters? Or was it because the sisters are in the same age range as some of the kids that were found on these videos and images? So she's okay with him being around his 5-year-old daughter, his 12-year-old daughter, his 1-year-old daughter, but she's not okay with him being around his sisters. What is that about? Is it because they know that the Duggars can't be trusted? Do they know that he just hasn't had the proper boundaries put around him? Do they know something that we don't know? I will tell you something rather interesting. So I have a source that I have spoken to so many times who is friends with the Duggars, and a couple years ago when they were a minor, they were with the Duggars and they were with Anna and Josh. And they had made the decision, Anna did, that they were going to go somewhere, and they invited this girl along. And when they invited her along, they were going to be going all in the same car. So this would have been, again, around the same time that this other stuff is going on. And she probably, I don't even know how old she would have been, but a teenager. This would have been happening around the same time he's downloading the other stuff too. And they're all going to go together. And as soon as it makes it to Josh and other people that she's going to be in the car with Anna, suddenly Josh shows up, apparently, according to my source, in the room and is like, I can't go. And he had like some excuse, they couldn't remember what. And at the time she thought it was sort of weird because it was like they were all getting ready to go and they were going to go together and it wasn't that big of a deal. And then as soon as Josh found out that she was going to be in the car with them, he was not allowed to go. I don't know if it was a rule that Jim Bob had. I don't know if it was a rule that Anna had, but Anna was like going to have all of them go together. So who had the rule that he was not allowed to be around people that he's not related to? Jim Bob and Michelle, maybe? So if that's the case, if they were not allowing him to be around a teenage girl, why would they then be okay with him being around their preteen daughter as long as his daughter's with him? What is it about this family that they don't get? Like, if they're going to guard their friends' kids from being with him alone, why don't they guard their own daughters? Why are they so inept? Do you think they just don't care? Do you think they just are that ignorant? Do you think they really thought that he was safe? Because it contradicts what this person said to me. We were supposed to go, according to this person, I was supposed to be in a car with Josh and Anna, and suddenly when Josh found out I was going to be in the car, or he was not allowed to go, and I had to go with Anna by myself with the kids, and then he was in a separate, he stayed home. So they make him stay home when a non-relative is there, but if it's their daughter, it's okay that he escorts that girl around the park with nobody else watching. I'm guessing nothing happened, but this is just another example of how like completely lackadaisical this family is and completely irresponsible this family is about allowing Josh access. Which again makes me wonder, how is it that Anna is any more responsible than anyone else in keeping these kids safe? I don't think she is. All right, you guys, what do you think about this? Why do you think they would allow him to go around the park by himself? What do you think about the girl that was with them and suddenly Josh couldn't go? And what do you think about these contradictory, like these different rules for different people? What's this about? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.